Hey guys, it's Lisa. Welcome to Banning, Panning and Beyond. I decided that I would record this as a bonus video. I did mention in a previous one that I was doing a collab with a friend of mine who isn't on YouTube. So I decided that I would just jump on and I would insert the photos of all the looks that we do each week, and then I will try and combine them into a video just through inserting photos. So the idea behind the collab is that we would do two looks with one palette, and I tend to do, as I've mentioned before, more day-to-day sort of makeup. I am not very artistic, and I'm a little bit more on the less creative side. I guess the more subtle sort of makeup, probably because I don't have the confidence to go real out there with my looks, and I am trying to work on that. I think it is still fun, but my tendency is more the everyday makeup. So what we decided to do was that I would do the more everyday look using the palette, and that my friend would do sort of the more dramatic sort of creative looks, and she loves colour, so it's straight off there's a big difference between the two of us, as I've always avoided colour, but the palette that we chose to use for the first week, we were going to basically, because she works full-time and is often on call for work, so we decided just to do initially one look per week and see how we went with that, and if we found that it was easy to get done, then we would possibly do two looks a week. So and it's worked out really well, because she's had a particularly busy week at work this week and has not had the chance. Her intention was to do multiple looks with the palette that we chose, and then she would pick the look that she liked the most, but that hasn't worked out for her, so it was probably a smart choice to just go with the one look with the palette each. And yeah, and then we decided, because of the palette that we actually chose first off, it wasn't well, it could be but it could be like as a basically cohesive palette, but it really is quite separated, and you'll understand what I mean when I show you the actual palette that we chose. So to me it seems to have very distinct separate looks. So it'd be like choosing there's actually 5 shadows in each section, so it's not even a quad, but I guess it's a quad plus a bonus sort of topper shade. So if that hasn't given it away yet, I will show you the palette we chose and which section that we chose. So we have here the Urban Decay Game of Thrones eyeshadow palette, and the one we decided to go with first, because she likes she really likes purple, so we went with this one. This is the one I chose in honor of her, because doing the collab together was my idea, so I thought it was only fair that first off, as a thank you, that I would choose a colour scheme that she likes. So the friend that I've decided to do this with is Siobhan, and I will put up her Instagram account name if anyone wants to check her out. Some of you that are following me or subscribe to me on YouTube already follow Siobhan on Instagram. So yeah, so that was the choice. I would try and do a relatively everyday look, and she would do this sort of more nighttime or sort of out there look. So I haven't seen what she's come up with yet, and you can see I like anyone out there who's watching knows most likely that I don't actually generally wear purple, but because of the roulette, sorry, not the palette bingo that I did, I guess that got me a lot less scared of colour, because I never used to touch blue either, and there were purples in that palette too. These particular purples, they're all very shimmery and they go on quite light, as you can see. So definitely not sort of something to be scared of. The look came out quite soft and quite pretty, so I'm really keen to see what Siobhan came up with. So like I said, at the time of recording, I have absolutely no idea what look she has come up with. So I did end up using all 5 shades of this one, and to start off with, it was House of Targaryen, which is this gold here. I started off up in the crease, and then I ended up going over with Stormborn in the outer corner here, and then took it up over the top of the crease. It pretty much covered over the gold. Then I've used Dothraki on the inner corner, if you can see that one, and Bend the Knee I used on the lid, and also I used it on the inner part of the lower lash line, and I used the darker Stormborn, so that's Bend the Knee there, this lighter purple, and then the Stormborn again I used on the outer lower lash line. So, and then Bay of Dragons, which is the topper shade over here, I ended up going on the center of the lid, but they are very, very soft and sort of blend in quite well together, so it might be quite hard to see the distinction between those 2 shades on my lid. So it's a very, very pretty look. First time I've ever used this palette. So the following or next week's the next look that you see, because obviously this will all come out in the one video, so time will have no meaning. So we've got these other 3 sections here still to choose from, and I'm going to let Siobhan pick the next one that we do. So yeah, that will be interesting to see where we go with that one, and I'm almost hoping that she doesn't choose this one, because obviously these 2 middle ones, they're more my style, and they're the 2 more sort of cohesive sections out of the palette. So yeah, so this will last us a full 4 weeks, and then after that we've already got 3 other palettes picked out. So we went obviously with palettes that we both had, and where we could find other sort of products within that brand that we also had, we would try to choose them as well. So if we both had a highlighter by the same brand that we chose the eyeshadow palette from, geez, I'm doing well today, then yeah, we went with we'd pick that, or a blush, or something like that. So I'm just going to pop that back into its packaging. So yeah, so I'm not sure when this will go up. Obviously it's going to be a while, because this is only week 1 and there's going to be 4 weeks worth of looks from this one palette, so we'll see what, when it goes up. But I almost forgot to record this, so that wouldn't have been good. So anyway, so I'll see you again soon. Bye. Hey guys, it is week 2 of my collab with my friend Siobhan, using the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette, and to I guess much to my horror, I gave Siobhan the choice of which was the next quint that we used, because I chose the first one. So and she chose the one that I thought that she might, which was this top White Walker section. So I don't think I was ever going to get an everyday look out of that quint if using all the shades. So basically I just decided to go and have some fun with it, and luckily I have I've done the palette bingo with my Zodiac palette, so I am kind of sort of not as horrified using blue as I used to be, but I still can't say that it's really the right colour for me. So and you may also notice I am now filming on my iPhone, so I've gotten rid of the camera. I've done a test and the sound seems to be okay, so I'm hoping that I won't need to buy any cables to convert the microphone that I had on the camera for this one. So so basically I'll get up nice and close, and you'll notice all the reflections now coming on this side of my face from the ring light, because I have finally attached the mirror to my ring light so that I can try and do some makeup, like film myself doing makeup, and I've had to put the phone to the side of the ring light. There was no other alternative for the mirror for me, so this is how it is for now anyway. But you can see that I have mainly used the blue in the palette. I've just darkened up the outer corner with the black, and I've used the black and then into the blue on the lower lash line and gone in. So I've used the silver here on the lid and also on the inner corner, or I should say the inner third of the lower lash line. And this I'll sit back a little bit because the reflection's too much, but so this transformer shade called Hard Home, I've used that right on the inner corner of my eye, and just a little bit of a brow bone highlight. So I will insert photos, or I should say one photo. I've got a collage that I have made, and it basically, I don't have a lipstick that matches the blue look. I tried a few. I even used the red, which is called White Walker, that comes from the actual set, because I got the whole vault, and it was a red, and I may or may not, I'll see how I go, but I may insert a photo as well using the red. And one of the photos that I used in the collage didn't look too bad, but the rest of them, there was just something about the look that I really didn't like. So this is actually my second attempt at using this quint. I used it yesterday as well, and I just was not happy with the look. So I'll insert the collage and then you can see. But so I decided today instead that I would I used the silver over the top of a lip gloss to see how that would stick, and you know, you got the corpse looking lips, which wasn't a good look. Then I ended up deciding to go in with this blue here, and yeah, okay, so yeah, it definitely isn't an everyday look, but I thought that it went much better with the eyeshadow colours. So this is what I've come up with for week 2. So let me know what you guys think, and whether or not this is a look that you think you would rock. So I'll see you again very soon with week 3. Bye. Hey guys, it's Lisa, and it is almost did my intro because I forgot that I am actually filming this for day 3 of my collab with Siobhan using the Game of Thrones palette. So it feels like forever since I filmed the previous one for that. So for day 3, I asked, or I should say look 3, I asked Siobhan to choose the next one, which, because there's only 4, once she chooses the 3rd one, it determines which one's going to be last. So she decided to go with this quint here. So I was sort of pretty sure that's what she was going to actually choose, because they're more her colours than mine. But in all honesty, to this point, it's probably the quint that I will most likely revisit, or at least so far out of the 3 that we've done. So the 4th one is definitely more my colorings, so it'll be interesting to see how that compares to today. So what I'm going to do is show you the swatches, and if they don't turn out real well on screen, yeah, I don't think that's going to work somehow because of the way I've swatched it. So try and do it that way. They're not coming up real good in natural light. You can see with the sunlight there. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's possible for me to twist my arm that well, but this green here is absolutely beautiful, and unfortunately it's just not showing up real well on here. So I will insert the photo of it, but it's this color here in the palette, and this purple actually blends out to be relatively brown looking, which is what I've got up sort of in the outer part here of my eye. So I just went in with this shade here. It's called Nymeria, and I used that as my initial sort of transition shade, and then I've deepened it up with that one. It's called Werewood Leaves, and I have used the green called The Sight. I've used that on my lower lash line, and Winter is here, which is the actual brown. I've used that sort of in the outer corner just to deepen up and into the crease, so it sort of all blends in relatively nicely together. And then Winterfell I have used on all over the lid and into my inner corner and sort of on the inner part of my lower lash line. So I used my own lipstick, the Sansa Stark Lippy. I have taken away, I'll just grab it. So part of the collab with Siobhan is just using the palette, but I thought, well, why not use other things that I've got in the set to put with it. But I'll show you the colour of the Sansa Stark lipstick. It's just like this really pale peach, and I just didn't think that it went at all. It's the same with the north section of the palette. With it's all the sort of real icy colours and stuff, and it had this sort of really strong red colour that was meant to go with it, and in my opinion it just didn't go real well. So I decided to choose my own lipstick today to match the look. So definitely going to revisit this part of the palette. I'm really wanting to see how the sort of more purpley burgundy colour goes, and the green. So I think that definitely I have not done the colours in this quint justice. So I at this point, as I'm recording this, I've not seen what Siobhan has done. She's way more artistic and creative than I am, and hence why I chose to do the everyday looks. And I'm really curious to see what she has done with it. So I will be inserting photos when I get them, and so you'll see them at the end of this before we move into the last day of using this palette. So I'll see you again soon. Bye. Hey guys, it's day 4 of my collab with Siobhan, and we used the final quint in the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. Today was House Lannister, so that was this one here, and it was the one I was looking forward to using the most because they are really my kind of colours, and I was actually really happy with how all the shadows performed, and I even managed to use the matching lipstick. Just grab it. That came in the set. It's the only one that I actually liked out of the all 4 lipsticks that came matching a house or area. So that is the one that I used today. So you can see that's what's on my lips now, and it's beautiful and creamy and not drying my lips out at all, so that is an added bonus. So I wasn't too sure. I managed to swatch all the shades in this before I decided to create a look, so I wasn't sort of too sure just from looking at it what I wanted to do. But I basically went in with this one, which is House Lannister, and just started that off in sort of as a transition shade, and blended initially into the crease, and I ended up using this one, which is Red Keep. I decided to put that sort of to darken that part on the outer corner there, but I ended up also using it as my lid shade. So what ended up happening was that I used this Lannister Red, which actually blends out more of a brown, and that's what I used to deepen the outer corner and took it into the actual crease, so it kind of ended up covering over that coppery sort of Red Keep colour anyway. And then I used Casterly Rock, which is the bronze colour. I use that all on my lower lash line, and then King's Landing, which is the sort of transition, what do they call it, transformer shade. I end up using that in my inner corner, but unfortunately that never really seems to show up real well on camera. So, and it is very overcast today, so yeah, so I was really happy with it. And probably my favorite two were these ones. This whole section here was more like topper shades, and this one, of course, you know, it's very hard to do a sort of everyday look with it. It's more out there, but sort of used in with the rest of the palette. I'm sure that you could sort of do something quite everyday with that, and I say that because that was my part of the collab with Siobhan, was to do the everyday looks, and I left the sort of more artistic looks to her. That's sort of more her sort of forte. So I will definitely play with this again before I pack it away. So, and I will insert photos of today's look from Siobhan and myself as well, so hopefully the photos will show off the colours a little bit more. So I'm a bit distracted because I keep getting Instagram sort of notifications popping up. I'm not used to that because for so long I'd been recording on my camcorder, so yeah, it's a little bit distracting. So I'm not too sure if any of you will notice too that from my background that I've actually rearranged my beauty room a little bit. So it's all because of this chair that you can see here. That belonged to my daughter, and she moved out January last year, and it's sort of been getting shuffled around in her house from place to place. She didn't really have a good spot to put it, so I've taken it back off her to store for her and put it there. So I'm going to use it as my reading chair, so I'm really happy for that. So I might just sort of, you probably see if I move out that I actually moved one of the bedside tables there, and it sort of filled that gap that was always sitting there quite nicely. Still got the tall boy where it always was, and I've moved another bedside table just next to it so that all three pieces are together. And then I've got the chair in the corner. My print stayed where it was, and I have a bit of a reading lamp, which that's weird, sort of you're going to move your arm opposite and trying to point to it. So there's my reading lamp. Doesn't quite go, but it's practical. So and then the cane one that I had, I'm not sure if I can turn my camera around to pick it up enough on my phone. So that is, oh, you can see next to the bed now, that was where I had all my sort of bits and pieces stored in that. And I moved the bathroom cabinet that had all my eyeliners and lip liners and my brushes, so that's kind of my storage corner now. And my vanity is not a mess, but it's a bit disorganized, and I'm not real happy with the way that it's looking now. But I am going to go with my husband's suggestion and actually get another display cabinet that I have got, which you can see there. So I'm actually going to get another one of one of those, and yeah, put it on the other side. Sorry, I'll put my hand in front of the camera. So I'm going to put that on the other side of my vanity, and it will help me to organize the top of my desk a lot better, and also organise the other display cabinet a bit better, because the bottom section of it, pallets just stacked on top of each other, and it's a real mess. And I've had to relocate all my nail polishes, so they're sort of down on the floor at the moment where the new display cabinet will go. So yeah, so that's another little project I've got to do. First I've got to see whether or not I can even get hold of another display cabinet. So yeah, that's something to research after I get this video edited and uploaded. So hopefully I'll get it done on time. But my husband and I have been working really hard out in the yard, sanding back all our timber that we've got in our landscaping and re-lacquering. We've just finished the front yard, which is just outside my room here. I'm looking straight at it, but still sort of working on the actual mulch and stuff in the garden, sort of refreshing everything and doing a bit of weeding and whatnot. And then we've still got to do our backyard, which has got a big timber deck and a big covered over area. So a lot of work, and yeah, it's sort of trying to take advantage of the weather. So it looks like it's actually going to come over and rain for the next few days, so hopefully I will get this edited and up on time. So I'm sure everyone will forgive me if it goes up a couple of days late, if not. So anyway, so that is it for my collab with Siobhan using the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. And we are planning on doing more collabs, but I'm thinking that moving forward I probably won't put them on my YouTube channel. So if anyone here that's watching is interested, I will put the link to Siobhan's Instagram account in the comments section, description box. I'll get it right. And yes, you guys should go check out her account and give her a follow, and you'll be able to see any future collabs that we do together that way. Or you know, you can of course follow me on my Instagram as well, which is always linked in the description box as well. So yeah, so anyway, that's it. I'm gonna get going. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.